Hey everybody, it's TotalGamerJunkie and I welcome you all back to my channel. So today, I got the novel of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I was gonna read it, but I thought, why don't I upload it to YouTube and that, since of me reading it, since Life is Strange does, since that has been going so well, I thought, why not read this? I plan to finish reading it, and yeah, while I'm doing that, I can work on other games and then upload them to YouTube, and I can also work on some other videos, like some more theory videos for Life is Strange Dust issue 2, for example. So before we start reading, let's read the back. The official novel, Greece, 5th century BCE. For 20 years, Cassandra, descendant of the mighty King Leonidas, has tried to forget her disgrace, cast out from Sparta by her own father, Nicolaus, but for defying the will of the gods to save her infant brother. Now a mysterious stranger arrives in a sleepy seaside town where she's made her home as a mercenary, promising her untold riches that will change her life forever. To earn them, Cassandra must cross the Mediterranean and join the war that rages between Athens and Sparta. She must kill the man they call the Wolf, Nicolaus of Sparta, the man she has never forgiven, her own father. Because I let him live in my one, because I was trying to do a good walkthrough, and I was like, oh fuck it, I'll start being bad and that. And yeah, so let's read this. I'm gonna read a bit of this each day, and yeah. Yeah, there's also like, because I got most of the books, except I don't have Heresy, or whatever it's called. None of that's canon. Yeah, this flick. We got acknowledgements. 450 BCE. We got a map of all the places. Tigris, Sparta, the Mount place where she was thrown off. Mount Tiget. I can't see that properly. It's too small. So here we go. Prologue, Sparta, winter 451 BC. For 7 summers I carried a secret inside me, a flame warming and true. Nobody else could see it, but I knew it was there. When I looked up to my mother and father, I felt it grow brighter, and when I gazed at my baby brother, I sensed its warmth in every part of me. One day I dared to describe it to my mother. You speak of love, Cassandra, she whispered, her eyes darting as if she feared that someone might hear, but not the kind a Spartan knows. Spartans must love only the land, the state, and the gods. She squeezed my hand and made me swear her an oath. Never reveal your secret to anyone. One winter's night during a bowling storm, we sat together in the hearth room of our home before a crackling fire. A young Alexios in mother's arms, I sitting by father's feet. Perhaps all 4 of us carried the same secret flame within. It comforted me to think so, at least. And then our warm, quiet sanctuary was pierced by the sound of nails scratching upon the door. Father's slow, steady breathing halted. Mother clutched little Alexios to her chest and stared at the door as if she alone could see a demon standing in the shadows there. It is time, Nicolaus, a voice like crackling parchment called from outside. Father rose, sweeping his blood-red cloak around his muscle-bound body, his thick black beard masking any expression on his face. Wait, just a little longer, Mother begged him, raising too and reaching up to stroke his thick dark curls. For what, Marini? He snapped, swiping her hand away. You know what must happen tonight. With that, he swung towards the door, picking up his spear. I saw the door creak open, the chill rain surging farther as he stepped outside. The wind groaned and thunder grumbled high above as we stepped out behind him, for he was our shield. And then I saw them. They faced us in a sickle blade arc, the priests bare-chested, wearing wreaths on their brows, the grey-robed abhors, men more powerful even than Sparta's 2 kings, holding torches that spat and roared in the tempest. The oldest abhor's long grey hair whipped in the wind, his bold crown gleaming in the moonlight as he beheld us with bloodshot eyes. His age-long teeth Sereed, Sereed, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Sereed, I'm just going with that. Sereed in an unsettling smile. He turned away wordlessly, beckoning us in his wake. We followed them through the streets of Pitana, my home and one of the 5 sacred Spartan villages, and I was wet to my skin and freezing before we even reached the outskirts. The abhors and priests troped on through the hollow land, droning and chanting up at the storm as they went. I used my half spear as father did his, like a walking cane, the butt end crunching into the shale with every step. It sent a strange thrill through me just to hold the broken lands, for it had once belonged to King Leonidas, the long-dead champion king of Sparta. Every soul in Laconia venerated our family because Leonidas' blood ran in our veins. Mother was of his line, and thus so was I and Alexios too. We were the descendants of a great man, the hero of the Hot Gates, yet it was father who was my true hero, teaching me to be strong and spry, as hardy as any Spartan boy. For all that, he never taught me the strength of mind that I would need for what lay ahead. In all Hellas, was there any tutor who could? We took a winding uphill path towards the looming grey heights of Mount Taygetos, I think that's how you pronounce it. Scarred by plunging ravines, the high crest shrouded in snow. There was nothing about our strange journey that made sense. Something felt very wrong. It had been like that ever since mother and father had travelled to Delphi in the autumn to speak with the oracle. They did not share with me the great seer's words, but whatever she had told them must have been bleak. Father had been tense ever since, irritable and distant. Mother seemed adrift most days, her eyes glassy. Right now she walked with her eyes closed for long periods, the rain streaking and revolts down her cheeks. She held Alexios tightly, kissing the small bundle of rags every few steps. When she saw my anxious looks up at her, she gulped and handed the bundle to me. "Carry your brother, Cassandra," she said. I roped my half-spear to my belt, took him and held him close to me as we climbed the now precipitous path. The thunder found its voice, pealing somewhere nearby, and lightning shuddered across the sky. The rain turned to sleet, and I made a little canopy with the edge of Alexios' blanket to keep his face dry. His skin scented with sweet oil, and the comforting smell of thistledown bedding was so warm against my frozen face. His weak hands brushed at my hair, he gurgled, and I cooed back at him. At last we came to a plateau. At the far end sat an altar of blue-veined marble, scarred by weather and age. A sheltered candle guttered there next to a pot of oil, a crater of sleet-lashed wine, and a platter of grapes. Mother halted with a choking sob. "Marine, do not be so weak," father snapped at her. I could sense a fire rising within her. "Weak? How can you call me that? It takes courage to confront your true feelings, Nicolaus. Weak men hide behind masks of bravery. It is not the Spartan way," father hissed through his teeth. "Gather before the altar," said one of the priests, his bony cage of ribs running with melting sleet. I cared not for the sight of the ancient table, nor for the edge of the plateau and the night-black abyss barking beyond. A well of shadow plunging down into the guts of the mountain. "Now the child," said the senior Epor, I don't know that word, his ring of hair dancing in the wind, his eyes like hot coals. He held out bony hands towards me, and now I understood, a dark mantle of realization setting upon my shoulders. "Give me the boy, child," he repeated. The roof of my mouth stung with dread, all moisture gone in a heartbeat. "Mother, father," I whimpered to each in turn. Mother took a step towards father, placing a beseeching hand on one of his broad shoulders, but he stood there impassive, like like a finger of rock. The oracle has spoken, the priest wailed in unison. Sparta will fall, unless the boy falls in its stead. Horror spread through me, and I clutched little Alexios tight. Stepping back, my baby brother was hale and strong, and hale and strong, that's a H, yeah, was hale and strong, or Holly, Hale. There was no justice in condemning him to the cruel fate that befell weak or deformed Spartan babies. This is what the oracle had decreed on my parents' trip to see her. Who empowered her to doom him like this? Why was father not spitting on this grim mandate, drawing his spear upon these wretched old men? And when he did act as it was only to shove mother away, casting her to the ground like a rag. No, no, mother wept as two priests dragged her back. Nikolaus, please do something. Father stared into infinity. One of the priests came at me from behind, seizing me by the shoulders. A second tore Alexios from me and handed the little bundle to the oldest Ephor, who cradled my brother like a treasure. Mighty Apollo, the truth giver, Athena, Polyarchos, great protectress, gaze upon us as we bend in your will, bumble gracefully for your wisdom. Now, the boy will die. He lifted Alexios over his head, stepping past the altar to the edge of the abyss. Mother fell to her knees with a hoarse cry that tore my heart in two, as the Ephor's body tensed, readying to hurl my brother to his death. Lightning struck across the heavens in time with a monstrous roar of thunder. It was as if the bolt had struck me. I felt the most tremendous surge of energy and injustice. I screamed with all my being, shaking free of the priest's pinning hands. I lurched forward like a sprinter, desperate, maddened, arms outstretched towards my brother. Time slowed. I caught baby Alexios' eye, and he mine. If I could have captured that moment in amber and lived there for all time, I would have done so. Both of us alive, connected. And in that trice, I still had a hope of catching him, stopping his fall, until I lost my stride, stumbled, and felt my shoulder crash against the wretched old Ephor's flank. Heard a sudden intake of many breaths, saw the Ephor falling, saw him topple over the edge. Alexios too. The pair plunged into blackness, and the Ephor's cry faded like a demon's shriek. And then silence. I fell to my knees at the precipice, shaking as manic oaths of outrage rose behind me. Murderer! She killed the Ephor! I stared into the abyss, aghast, the sleet lashing across my face. And that's the end of the prologue there, and I'll be sure to read chapter 1 tomorrow. Yeah, there are 18 chapters, and yep, I looked it up. There are 18 chapters, and I'll be reading this one chapter every day for 18 days. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you tomorrow for chapter 2. For chapter 1, because widespread the prologue. This is TotalGamerJunkie signing off.